Hello and welcome to another Plate Stack chat. On this show, I bring on some wonderful guests for a fun, relaxed chat around the virtual plate stack. A quick thank you to Strivey for their continuing support of this show. So today we have a fantastic guest joining me both from Australia and the future, as it's already Wednesday for her. A CrossFitter that truly puts her fitness to good use. She's a police officer, and if that's not exciting enough, she's also training to be a stunt actor, and yet somehow she found time to break the Guinness World Record for the most pull-ups. Please welcome the fabulous Jade Henderson.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for coming. I mean, I'm amazed you've got time to do this with everything else.
No, I've
With
always got
everything else going on.
time.
I mean, I've got so many questions. I've got so many questions. Just reading your intro made me tired thinking about everything you're doing. So, I mean, you've been doing CrossFit for quite a while, right? I did quickly look up your kind of open scores and things like that. So I know you've been doing it for quite a number of years.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, at what point were you like, I reckon I can get the world record for pull-ups?
So, yeah, I've been doing CrossFit for like 8 years or so, and I've kind of been getting a bit bored of it. So,
Right.
the whole pull-up idea came about, it was in around December last year. I was at work, and some of the guys were just chatting about the male world record for the 24-hour record.
Mm-hmm.
And that put the idea in my head, and I was like, oh, I'll look up the female records. Initially, I looked up the 24-hour female record, and I thought, oh yeah, that's doable. So then I started working towards that. And then you might have seen on my Instagram that I tore my bicep. This was maybe like in April. And then I've had to reassess my goal, and then obviously went for the 1 hour record instead.
Yeah. Tore my biceps. I couldn't possibly get the 24-hour record, but I think I could still do the 1 hour record for the most pull-ups. Why not? I mean, who needs a bicep for that? That's
Exactly.
I mean, so I had a few questions initially because I was curious about the standards for the pull-ups.
Yeah.
Because when I first, I don't know, your picture like popped up just in some random. It wasn't on your profile. I just was scrolling, and just one of the like recommended for you posts was just like a slide, and it had you on it, and it had the information about the pull-ups. And as soon as
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I was so curious to know, somebody that does CrossFit that breaks a record for pull-ups. And I was just curious to see all these comments about like, oh yeah, not a single pull-up was done. They don't do real pull-ups.
Yeah.
But you weren't doing like butterfly pull-ups or kipping pull-ups. They were, or were you? I mean, I've seen some of like the clips, but they just looked like, just normal sort of very fast, strict pull-ups.
Yeah, so the standard is obviously strict pull-ups. So each rep had to start from full extension, and then obviously chin had to go above the bar. So yeah, that was the only real standards.
Right.
But yeah, the comments have been absolutely brutal.
Right. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about. I need. This is. I was curious about this. So, what's going on
Yeah.
in the comment section?
So there's a lot of either I'm on steroids,
Right.
I'm a man. I don't know why. I must have some masculine features that I'm unaware of. And also that they've got to be kipping because it's physically impossible to do that many strict pull-ups in an hour.
Yeah. For that person writing the comment.
Yeah.
Like, if I can't do it, there's no way anyone else can do it. But I mean, there's video of you doing it, right?
Yeah, so I had to take obviously video evidence of it. I had two cameras set up from two different angles, and then I had my witnesses there, and it's all been verified by Guinness World Records.
Yeah, so it seems great. Like I just don't understand. Like at that point, how someone could be go, oh no, they can't. It must have been this or must have been that. It's like, well, look, like here's a video, here's a record. I can. I can understand the other comments maybe where people are like, oh, well then, she must be cheating somehow. So you must be on something. I can sort of see the logic in there, in like that attack, if that makes sense, compared to somebody who's just going, oh, no, it's impossible. You couldn't have done it. Well, she did. Like, you can't argue with that. That's the fact.
Yeah. I just find that like all those comments discredit the amount of work that actually went into it and the amount of sacrifice like I went through. It kind of makes it kind of dulls the achievement for me, which is pretty unfortunate, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I saw some of the little slides sort of in the story that you kind of saved there, and you can see like the way you're progressing to it. So you're doing, X number of pull-ups every minute for 50 minutes, and then a different number for a different sort of type. So like you can see the work that you've been. It wasn't that you just one day you rocked up to the gym and you're like, you know what, maybe today I'll go for the world record. Like clearly you've worked hard to do it.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a long process.
How did you manage to sort of fit in? I mean, I'm assuming it's a very specific Did you kind of have to stop your general training and just focus on pull-ups? Were you able to kind of combine it with, just doing classes or doing kind of your own programming, whatever you're doing? Because I'm just thinking about how busy your schedule is already, and to kind of carve out that time for it. How were you able to fit it in?
I definitely did sacrifice a lot of my CrossFit training for it, and I didn't want to do CrossFit like I usually would and then get sore, which would then affect my pull-up training.
Right.
So yeah, the main goal each week was to get that pull-up training done, and then I did a lot of just like cardio things around that, which wouldn't affect like my upper body at all.
Yeah. What was obviously you don't want to get sore. That makes perfect sense. What was like the biggest sticking point for you with, just going for that many reps? Was it just the muscle fatigue? Was it sort of, I don't know, the grip just goes at a certain point, or like, what was the biggest challenge?
It was probably my hands. So I think in all my training sessions, my hands never got that bad, but when I did the actual attempt, I must have been a bit more sweaty than usual because of the nerves. And I had wristbands like over my hands, and then I had grips on top of that. So I think the wristbands just got real sweaty, which made my skin a bit softer. So yeah, with about 20 minutes left to go in that attempt, I just felt like my hands were ripped to shreds, and obviously I had to just keep going.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when you're like 20 minutes left, what are you going like? I was thinking about that with it, because obviously, had you kind of timed out like, oh, I know I need to be about this many reps, this many minutes in? Like, did you have sort of a tally you were trying to keep, knowing that then you were on track to get it? Or was it just like feel it out and see how you feel in the moment?
Nah, it definitely wasn't just feeling it out. So in like every one of my training sessions, I had a plan, regardless of how I was feeling. I had to hit those numbers. So the plan for the day was, so for the first 5 minutes, did 7 every 30 seconds. Then for the next 50 minutes, I did 6 every 30 seconds. And then for the remaining 5 minutes, that was when I was supposed to just like send it and like give it absolutely everything and just hold on. But then at that point, it kind of went downhill very quickly. So it's only like the last 5 or so minutes where it was a bit like hit and miss. But I knew at that point, like I was going to be fine to hit the previous record.
Yeah. Did you have like I mean, it's like when I talk with athletes, it's like, obviously, you're going to the games or whatever, like you're going to win you're going there with the intention of, oh, I want to win everything. So you don't want to think, oh, like I'm not going to win this. But with something like this, where it's a lot of work over the course of that hour, did you have a kind of, if if I'm at 30 minutes and I'm only on this number, we'll bail on this attempt to like redo it later, or were you just going to go no matter what?
Nah, like that didn't even cross my mind. Like I was
Really?
there to do it. That's it.
Yeah.
Because yeah, for like since December, I've been doing like hours and hours of pull-ups. So the longest session I did, I think, was like 11 hours of pull-ups when I was training for the 24-hour record. So I feel like I built up my like mindset that well that I knew I'd done all the work. So there was no way that it wasn't gonna like pay off, unless obviously another injury hit or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was pretty confident going into it.
Okay. Yeah. Because I just think about the times, you know, and we are very different athletes. One of us is actually an athlete, and the other one of us just, you know, does a bit of fitness on the side. But I think about the times that maybe you know you've been beaten by a time cap when you kind of thought, oh, actually, if I just send it on this bit, I think I'm going to finish, and then you don't, and it's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have sent it. I could have. I feel terrible, and I didn't get through the time cap. So it's just that idea
Yeah.
of like, oh, I'm going to really go for it, and then I fall, you know, 5 reps short of the record. Like that would be very
Yeah,
devastating.
yeah, it's a bit different though, because I think with CrossFit training, it's a bit harder to like go in with the plan and stick to that plan because every workout's so different.
Mhm.
Whereas for my pull-ups, it was the same thing like every couple of days that I was doing. So I very much knew where I was sitting and what I was capable of.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I guess it's, you know, it's similar to like Olympic lifting or something like that, where they
Yeah.
know, you know, as long as my technique is as it is in training, these are the numbers I should feel pretty safe hitting, you know, and then and it's
Yeah.
you know, I'm going to do 3 lifts. They're going to be these ones, and maybe I'm going to try and do a big jump at the end, but let's see. But like, I'm pretty confident on these 2 because it's always the same. Yeah, I that does make sense. Did you have to kind of because obviously it was quite a long, you know, period of time in doing all of your training. Were you kind of conscious of uh like maintaining a certain body weight, because obviously the more you weigh, the more weight you're pulling every time? Were things like that in your mind at all, or it was just, you know, I'm training
Nah.
enough that I'm going to be pretty consistent on like where I sit, and any extra
Yeah.
weight is muscle in my arms for pull-ups?
Yeah, no, that didn't really even cross my mind. Yeah, with the amount of training I was doing, I think it was more of an issue that I wasn't eating enough and refueling my
Right.
body enough. Yeah.
Did you have like a team of people helping with kind of suggestions regarding your programming or like what you were doing, or even nutrition, things like that? Or were you just planning it all
Um,
yourself?
I was doing pretty much all of it myself. So it's hard to get someone to program for you when they have never done it or no one's ever done it before, because you don't
Yeah.
know how your body's going to react and like how to progress. So initially, like when I first started, I think with like a 20-minute EMOM of like 3 pull-ups every minute, and that was like the starting point for me. And then I just gradually kept doing more and more and more. And then once I kind of knew how I was progressing, I then sat down and did like a 12-week plan.
Right.
And like, yeah, it was hard to figure out what to do because I couldn't speak to anyone. Like obviously people have general ideas, but then I would do it and then I'd wake up the next morning and could hardly move my arms. So then I'm like,
Right.
okay, that was maybe a bit too much.
Yeah. Just send it, full send, go. And you're like, maybe that's not going to help me get there in the end. Um,
Yeah.
am I right? The previous record holder was also Australian.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you like know who that is? Did you kind of like
No,
check out who they were, try and find them on Instagram, see what they were doing,
I,
or
I did
you did?
try, but yeah, couldn't find her anywhere. So I don't really know who
No.
she is. Yeah.
No attempt to kind of abuse your authority as a police officer and be like, maybe I can track this person down.
No,
got ways of
I'll
finding
probably
people.
lose my job. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No, okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. Would it have been worth it? Probably not. It didn't matter. I wonder if they've since looked you up. Uh, how 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 safe do you feel your record is? Like,
Cool.
because it was quite a few reps more than the previous record, right?
It was like 8 reps more, so not a heap
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, but well, I don't know. As you said, by the end, like getting those 8 reps is eight reps isn't a lot in minute 1, but I think in minute 59, 8 reps is probably quite a lot.
Yeah, true. I guess because the previous record was done in, I think it was 2015,
Right.
and it hadn't been broken until I did it. So I guess I feel pretty confident knowing that it probably won't be broken anytime soon.
Yeah. Safe for a little while. If
Yeah.
hypothetically it were to be broken, would you try and get it back?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
But
I feel like I'm already like pretty conditioned to the pull-ups, so if it were to happen pretty soon, it would be quite a quick quick process to get back to that level that I'm ready to attempt it again.
How much are pull-ups making an appearance in your training these days?
Still very regularly. So
Oh, really?
yeah, I've come up with the next challenge for me, which is to beat the 1 minute record. And I'm going to try and do that before the end of the year.
All right. How many is it in 1 minute?
44. Yeah.
And again, they're all strict. The same standards, basically. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I was impressed with how fast your pull-ups were anyway. Like I mean, obviously they have to be, right, to get them through. But I just feel like when I see people doing pull-ups, it's either very fast, butterfly or kipping pull-ups, or they're like deliberately slow, almost the strict pull-ups.
Yeah.
Because they're really demonstrating how, it's a strict pull-up. So it was interesting to see very fast strict pull-ups make an appearance again, because we don't see them that much anymore within the CrossFit space and the kind of functional fitness racing space, I suppose. You said that you started doing it because you'd kind of gotten bored of CrossFit.
Yeah.
Was that bored of, because I think you've done quite a few competitions and stuff. I've seen on not that I was stalking your Instagram, but I need to know something. So I saw a lot of pictures from different events that you'd been at, team competitions and stuff like that. Was it like the competition side that you'd kind of had grown a bit stale for you, or was it the training in general, or like, and how does that all feel now that you've kind of conquered this big challenge? Are you enjoying CrossFit again, or?
So I definitely still enjoy the CrossFit comps and like the environment there. It's just the training that I just feel like I just don't have that passion there for it still at the moment.
Yeah.
Because last year I kind of went all in with CrossFit at the start of the year, and I only just missed out on qualifying for the, the Torian Pro.
Oh, right.
So,
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, so I put everything into it to the point where I was doing so much training that I just wasn't enjoying it every day, and I just felt tired, sore, and I felt like I was doing so much training but not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
So now that I've found pull-ups, or I'm sure there's other things I could do, but I can put in the work and I can achieve something. If that makes sense, like CrossFit feels a bit like too, not out of reach, but it's just maybe not my thing.
Yeah. Or is it the randomness of it? It feels like for you having kind of a precise goal, knowing, right, in order to reach this goal, I need to do this, like this specific thing. And if I do this and I achieve this, that's the goal. Whereas,
Yeah.
when you, especially when you just miss out qualifying for something, very often that will be, you know what, if it was the workouts of the previous year, I'd have made it. But it was this
Yeah.
specific workout that just had kind of something that's a weakness for me and a strength for the person that beat me. And if the workers had been like written in a slightly different way, maybe that would have been enough. And there is that kind of randomness to it, which is
Yeah.
which is what makes the competition sort of exciting on one side, but also very
Yeah.
frustrating if you're an athlete, because you kind of,
Yeah.
you don't know what to train for almost.
Yeah. I think you've pretty much like nailed it better than what I even was thinking in my head. I think that's it. And also with CrossFit, you've got to train like so many different aspects that
Yeah.
you've got to have a very, I think, flexible job to be able to like become a full-time athlete in that world. And I didn't have the time. I think that was the hardest thing for me, is trying to fit all that training in.
Yeah.
Whereas, pull-ups is just like, okay, you've got an hour of pull-ups this day, an hour that day, and then the following week, you've got a massive session. Whereas I can plan for that. Whereas if it's like 3 to 4 hours of CrossFit training every single day, it wasn't really doable for me.
No, I mean, that's a part-time job. If you're doing like
Yeah.
4 hours a day, that's a part-time job
Yeah.
at that point. So, and if you're not getting paid for it, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm very much I go to the class, I do my 1 hour, and then I'm out and I'm back to regular life. And even
Yeah.
that, sometimes I'm like, whew, having to
Yeah.
squeeze this time in, trying to make it. And I mean,
Yeah.
how accommodating is your job for stuff like that? Because I mean, I generally don't think of like the police force as being overly accommodating with shifts for people, and kind of being like, oh yeah, you want to go off and do some training, or you want to go off and do a competition, no problem. Like, we're very I think of it as a more kind of regimental, serious thing. I don't know. I've never been in the police, so I'm just what I observe from the outside. But
It's somewhere in the middle. So
yeah,
if you give them enough notice, they're pretty accommodating. So if you say like, in a month's time on this day, I'm going to be doing this event, then they can kind of work your roster around that. But you can't say, oh, Thursday evenings every week I need to finish by this time, and
right.
Saturdays I can't work Saturdays. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't do that.
No. So it's like, if you've got an event coming up, you've got, you're probably going to be able to get to it. But
Yeah.
for training, of being like, oh, I really want to train Thursday night every night, with this group of people, that's where you're going to struggle to kind of get it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What's life like? How long have you been in the police force?
I've been in for about 8 years now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been a full on 8 years.
Full on 8 years. Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
enjoy it?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
I think it's like any job. You have your highs and your lows. But yeah, it's always exciting. There's always something happening. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't think we hear too much kind of about the Australian police force. It's usually like America. Like, for me, I see American cop shows, I see kind of British police procedurals and sort of detective shows. But apart from, I don't know, what is it, like Blue Heelers, stuff like that, that was the only kind of
Yeah.
or Water Rats. That's the other one. You're all on boats. I think that's
Yeah.
that's my cultural touchstones for Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get asked quite a lot if the Rookie is a good representation of what it's like to be a cop, and I always say absolutely not.
No.
Unfortunately, because it's a cool show.
Yeah. What is it like for you? I mean, apart from the fact that have you got like a lot of gear you've got to carry, and it's, I'm assuming, incredibly hot at the same time, and
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
was
so,
sorry,
so
you go ahead, fill me in.
the whole like vest and belts and all that, it weighs about 10 kilos. So
Right.
in the Australian heat, it does get very, very hot.
Yeah, and you're in Brisbane, right?
The Gold Coast, which
Oh, you're in
is
the Gold
just
Coast.
an hour away from Brisbane.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. So that is that is, but nice, beautiful, right? I mean, that's got to be nice. You
Oh,
get to be outside. You get to enjoy, you know, the beautiful outside of Australia. Surely that's a positive. Better than being trapped in an office all day, right?
yeah,
I don't know.
that's true. But yeah, unfortunately, we don't get to like walk along the beach every day or anything like that. We're too busy
No.
responding to jobs. But
Yeah.
yeah, I do love the Gold Coast.
Yeah. Nice. Um, and yet, as much as maybe you enjoy your job, tell me about this stunt training you're doing.
Yeah, so it kind of came up pretty randomly. So back in February this year, I was lucky enough to go to South Korea for the Netflix show Physical Asia.
I have
I
a
was
note
just
about that. I need to ask you about that.
so I was just a reserve contestant for that. And while I was over there, I was having a chat to some people, and I said, like, how could we do more of this kind of stuff and get paid for it? And then someone mentioned, oh, like you could be like a stunt person in movies, like that looks pretty fun. So literally, I got back, and a week later, I was doing a 2 week stunt course, like just down the road from me here. And that was a pretty like all-inclusive introduction course where you got set on fire, you got hit by cars, jump out of buildings, do abseiling, and I absolutely loved it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I got booked from there.
Wow. Did you find like obviously you do a lot of, physical stuff within CrossFit. Also your work, surely the training you've had as a police officer, like did all of those elements combine just to make that training even easier for you? Maybe I don't know. Were you looking at other people doing the course and being like, well, they're struggling a bit more than me. Like this is easy for me. Uh, kind of, it feels like you're already a stunt woman just in real life. So
Yeah, I think being like physically fit definitely helps. Um, yeah, when you get hit by cars, I think like you bounce a little bit better than other people.
yeah, the car just
Yeah,
folds around you, and they're like, "Cut! That's
pretty
not what we
much.
wanted." I'm so sorry.
Uh,
uh, I did want to ask about your trip to. So where was it? Korea, wasn't it?
yeah, South
Uh,
Korea.
South Korea. So this is like what, like spin-off of Physical 100, right? The
Yeah, yeah, so it's pretty
uh,
much exactly the same, but teams.
yes, it's released today in the UK. So
Yeah.
um, I tell you, if we were not having this conversation, I would be watching it right now, uh, because
Yeah.
it's a show that my wife and I just really enjoyed watching the first ones, and then my wife's from the Philippines, so they have
Uh,
a Filipino team. I actually
yeah.
know one of the athletes on the team as well, so I was like, oh, interesting. I mean, I
There you
know
go.
of many of them, but I sort of know and have spoken to one of them. Maybe
Yeah, okay.
that makes
Yeah,
more
there you go.
sense. Who's on
Yeah.
the Australian team?
So we had my CrossFit friend, Caitlin Van Zyl,
Right?
and Rob Whitaker,
Yeah.
and we had a parkour guy, and then the other reserve contestant was another parkour guy, and then strongman. I think he's like Australia's strongest man, Eddie. He's a massive guy, and also ex rugby player,
Right.
and just a influencer.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a pretty stacked team.
Yeah. I mean, can you? You can't say how well they did, so we'll wait and find out. But was it fun or
Yeah,
or
it was.
frustrating that you weren't allowed to do it?
Yeah, it was a bit of a mix. So every morning and every evening, I'd see the team like at breakfast and dinner, and they'd be just like chatting and like they were vibing because obviously they were like so like keen about like the events they were doing. So I was getting pretty frustrated just like being there, not being involved.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I didn't want any of the team to get injured because that was the only way I was going to get in. So yeah, it was still
Yeah.
an awesome experience.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that you were already a reserve, is that like a good chance if they do a sequel, if there's another one, that you might be able to get back? And would you go back if there's the opportunity?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping now that they know who I am, and now that I've actually broken a world record, and I feel like I'm a bit more of a someone now. Maybe I'm in with more of a chance next year.
Yeah, because I mean, they need things they can put on a like on a little graphic when it comes up, right? And you walk
Yeah,
out,
exactly.
and being able to say it's a world record holder is like, because I remember in Physical 100, I think the second season, I think they've done 2 seasons, right? I think it was like the second season. At one point, they had like a pull-up competition, and I remember it was a CrossFitter that won that. So they love pull-ups. So being able to
Yeah.
have someone who is a world record pull-up holder, like, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
cross your fingers for me next year.
Hey, I hope so. Then I'll get you back on. I'll be like, oh, look, here we are.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and imagine if you have 2 records.
I know.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know if they can
Yeah.
turn your records into some kind of medals, so you can be kind of like have these medals around your neck as you walk out. But yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
I don't know if I can walk out with like a big certificate with me.
Yeah, just like holding them like the tablets. Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
cool. Do you know if there were any other athletes that had been approached that weren't available, or anything like? I mean, had they reached out to someone like Tia, or you wouldn't know that?
I'm not too sure. I would imagine though that Tia would be a bit busy and she probably doesn't need the money.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, some people just like a challenge, I feel like, and an
Yeah,
experience. Yeah. I don't know.
yeah,
Or Khan, he
yeah,
could have gone, or Jay Crouch. So, yeah.
yeah. I'm not too sure how they kind of chose
Hmm.
because as far as I know, they just reached out to everyone through Instagram,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of people actually thought it was a scam, so they like didn't bother
Makes
replying.
sense.
So maybe I was just lucky enough that I replied at the right time.
Yeah. Because I was looking at some of the teams, and it is interesting. It's an interesting mix because you do have people that are, like the Filipino team, you've got people that are like super famous, and
Yeah.
then people that you're like, oh, I know them because I know CrossFit, and I also followed like the Asian championships, and so I know these specific athletes that probably the most people in CrossFit don't even know who that person is. But you know,
Yeah, so
uh, uh,
yeah, it's a
uh,
good mix of people. Yeah.
yeah. All right, I'll enjoy watching that. It gives me something to watch while while I'm practicing my pull-ups. Apparently, so you've got this. So right, so you've got the hour record. You're going for the did we say it was the 1 minute record? Is the other
Yeah.
one you want, right? Okay. Initially though, it was this 24-hour record. That was the one that got you started on the journey.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself ever going for that again, or is that just too damaging to the body?
I'm not too sure at this stage. Just because of like the amount of time I'd have to put in to get to that level again.
Yeah.
And obviously then I risk injuring myself again. But looking back at it now, I feel like if I did go for it, there's no reason why I couldn't do it. So, like, that's not what's stopping me. It's just the sacrifices.
Yeah. Sometimes, especially when it's something so long. I mean, this isn't the same, but like I've got to put it into something that I understand. But
Yeah.
I think about it like running.
Yeah.
So I remember, like, I never ran. I just ran in like in class when we had to do a run and it was programmed. So that was like all the running I ever did. Lockdown hit, COVID hit. We weren't allowed, we were allowed to go out of our house for like an hour to do exercise or whatever. And so obviously I started running because that was kind of all you could do. You couldn't go to the gym. You couldn't do anything. And it was just like, okay, what do people run? They run a 5K. So my first run just did a 5K. Like that's, and it wasn't a kind of, will I be able to do it? It was just, how long is it going to take? Because I'm pretty sure the fitness is there. I just need to do it. So I ran a 5K, a few times. I would go out and do that. And then the next step is obviously 10, right? Like that's the obvious next step. So I ran a couple of 10Ks. And then it gets to the point where I'm like, I could run further, but this takes a lot of, it's just time. Like it just gets to the point where running more just means more time.
Yeah.
And it's hard to justify that time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess at least with the pull-ups, like there is a world record at the end.
Oh yeah.
But I definitely know yeah, with the running, like what is the purpose? Like unless obviously you want to be a marathon runner or something like that.
No. Well, that's the thing, because then they do like, so I live very close to CrossFit Bath. I'm like a 5-10 minute walk to the box. In between there is this path that is an old railway line that then is no longer a road. It's now like a cycle path and a running thing. A lot of people run down it. It's got 2 tunnels that used to be train tunnels. So you kind of run through those. So I know, like, if I run through the first tunnel to the entrance of the second tunnel and back, that's 5K. If I go through the second tunnel and a little bit further and then come back, that's 10K. But they organize a run every year, the 2 tunnel run. And people are always like, I've had people say to me, oh, you're going to sign up for the run? Are you going to sign up for the run? I'm like, well, no. Like, why? Why would I sign up for a run that I do anyway?
Yeah.
Like, it seems crazy to me to just pay for the privilege to do my usual run. So I'm not a, I work with someone though, and he's like training for an ultra marathon thing, and he's but
that is cool though. Ultra marathons are so impressive.
They're impressive if you do them. I have strong doubts as to whether he's going to do this, because he finds lots of excuses within his training. So I would be intrigued.
For that, you've got to be like mentally on it the whole time.
Yeah.
Because as soon as like your mind starts slipping, that's game over.
Yeah. What are you thinking about during your like record attempt?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't really know what I was thinking about when I did it, but I know like in my practice sessions, so a lot of my practice sessions, I was just either doing it here at home or I was in the gym by myself. Right. So it was literally like me and my brain there for hours. Yeah. And I just think about how, like, I've said I'm doing this, so I'm not stopping until I'm done. That was like, I think the main thought process for me, and the whole like believe you can and you're halfway there.
Yeah.
So just like trying like to keep positive in my head, because I found as soon as I started getting a bit negative and thinking like, oh, this is shit, or just saying anything like that, then it would be a bit of a downhill spiral, and then that would just make for like a miserable session.
Yeah. How was your sort of like mental, I don't want to say mental health, but like during the period that you were training for this, you were seeing, results coming, you were hitting your targets, hitting your goals, like mentally, how was that making you feel during that whole process?
I think I got like a bit desensitized to like what I was doing, because it became like so normal for me that I forgot like how extreme my training was getting. Yeah. So like at one point, like a normal session would be 6 hours worth of pull-ups. And for me, like it just is what it is. But looking back now at it, I think like, holy shit, like my mental toughness and grit, like, was outstanding for me to just wake up in the morning and be like, all right, I've got this massive session today. It is what it is. Off we go.
Yeah. How long a period was the training?
You mean like how many months?
Yeah.
So I started like around November or December last year, but that was for the 24-hour record.
Yeah.
And then I think it was as of the start of March, I then focused towards the 1 hour record.
Okay. And then when did you break the record?
It was August.
August. Okay.
August?
Okay.
22nd of August. I'm just looking
Yeah,
at
you're
my
looking.
certificate.
I better just look at my certificate and have a little look there. Yeah. So like focusing on pull-ups started in November, let's say. So sort of November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So a good like 10 months of just doing lots of pull-ups.
Yeah.
Apart
Obviously,
from
there's
that, you got injured in the
yeah,
middle.
yeah. But yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Did it change your physique at all then? Because that's a long period of time. So did you notice like a change then to obviously, traps, lats aren't like, did it make changes that way as well?
Yeah, I feel like my lats are just like massive now. Whereas like with CrossFit, I was all around just like a bit like beefed
Square.
up. Yeah, whereas now I'm just like a triangle.
Right.
And I think when people say like, oh, she's 100% on steroids, they don't take that into consideration. I've been doing CrossFit for like 8 years,
Yeah.
and now I've been smashing pull-ups for this long. Like, I'm not on steroids. Like, I've never touched it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I would assume with your work that you get, I would assume being in the police force that they control kind of, do you get like random drugs tests and stuff when you're a police officer in Australia? I would have
yeah,
thought so, but
we do. It's not very often,
no.
but yeah, obviously it is illegal,
Yeah.
and we do occasionally get drug tested.
Yeah. And I mean, like, so if you got caught taking something, like, is that your job gone then at that point? As a police officer?
I'm not too sure, but possibly.
Yeah.
It's not worth the risk.
No, well,
And
that's the point, right? Like, obviously,
yeah,
an athlete is gambling on a 4-year ban. Oh no, I got a 4-year ban, but everything
yeah,
else in my life is the same. Whereas for you, the risk is, well, do I potentially lose my job? And the effect that would have on my life, which is a lot.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And but like, not even that. I just don't want people to think that I took the easy way to get to this point. Even though people think that now already, but obviously those who know me know that I don't do steroids.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, like, it's just not worth it. If I can do it naturally, why would I choose to take that risk?
Yeah. And again, like, you had, you go in with something where you've got a specific goal, a specific kind of training that you're going to do for it, specific markers you're trying to hit of like, okay, I know if I can do this much, I can do this much, and then I can do this much. So there is a strategy there is a plan, and I guess it's just a time frame, right? If you get to the point where you're like, oh, actually I can't hit this many in this many minutes, so I've got to train a bit harder. So I was hoping to do the attempt, this month, but maybe it's going to take me an extra month or two to get there. Like, it's manageable. It's not like, oh, the Open's in February, I don't control that, so I need to be in the best shape possible for then. What shortcuts can I take? You're like, well, I can do this the right way. I've got the time and the
Yeah,
strategy just to do it. Yeah, it is tough, and I guess it's so easy behind a keyboard to say whatever you want, right? Like, it's just It's just
Yeah.
so easy. But I'm surprised. Not. I don't know. I guess it's easy for people to say like, "Oh, just ignore them," right? Just don't
Yeah.
worry about it. Like they don't know you. Just ignore them. But it sounds like it does. It does have an effect, right? Like
Oh,
when you see these things. Um,
yeah.
I, and what I thought was interesting for you was it's not even it's not even like the the physical thing of like, oh, you look like you're on steroids kind of. It's more the, hey, I've worked so hard. I've chipped
Yeah.
away month after month to increase these reps and to get to this point, and you're
Yeah.
undermining my hard work by saying, oh, you just
Exactly.
cheated. Yeah, that's
Yeah. It's funny though, because a lot of people commenting, sometimes I like click on their profiles just to see like, oh, what kind of a person are you then to have such a strong opinion? And they're like middle-aged, overweight men like holding fish in their profile pictures who
the
have
classic.
no experience in the fitness world, and just because they can't comprehend like doing something like this and putting in that much work, it means that no one else can do that.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's a shame because there are people that cheat and abuse the system, and it's like quite terrible what they do. And especially when they're doing it and maybe winning money or taking opportunities away from other people, and they're doing things like that. So the
Yeah.
accusation is quite harsh. um
Yeah. Yeah.
and when you just like scattergun kind of every single person that's fit, they must be cheating. it
Yeah.
it lessen so it does two things. Like, one, it's damaging to you and all the hard work you've done, but it also means now when people we do call out those that are genuinely abusing the system and taking away opportunities from other people and taking prize money from them and things like that, it
Yeah.
it's just more noise because, oh, everybody's getting accused, and we don't trust
Yeah.
anyone. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, so it's sort of this. Yeah, but
Yeah.
hey, welcome to social media.
I know. Yeah. I'd hate to be like a teenager growing up in this time because
Yeah,
it can be so bad for your mental health.
yeah. I mean, my thought quite often is, like within CrossFit and that it doesn't make sense. It sort of only makes sense when I fully explain that thing. But it's like, I don't think we have like a drug problem, because the people that see things are inspired to go out and work really hard and train in the box and try to get it, and they you know and they genuinely believe these people are doing this and achieving this naturally, and maybe some are not, but
Yeah.
it motivates people to go out and just train as hard as they can, and they will benefit from that. They may never look like these people, and they may never be as fit as these people, but they will benefit from going out and training hard and working hard, trying to get strong and fit. I
Yeah.
look at like this TikTok influencers that are glorifying jumping on gear at 19, 20 years of age, and that scares me so much because I'm like, that is terrible. That's dangerous. My son's 12, so he's not there yet, but it's like the
Yeah.
thought that these are the peers, and they're telling you at before you've even hit kind of your peak
Yeah.
naturally, that you should, just jump on gear and it's fine. One cycle, it's not going to do anything. And look at how much, it's just that.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah. And kind of like promoting that, like you
Yeah.
have to be on gear to achieve like this certain look or to achieve this goal or whatever.
Mm,
Yeah, it's insane. And I think a lot of people probably, or a lot of females seeing my record have probably gone and seen the comments and been like, shit, yeah, it's not all positive. So
mm,
like, do I want to like risk this online bullying by doing like something, and that's so sad that there's people just wanting to just like knock you down and like judging people based on their looks, like commenting on like my chest size. Like, how is that relevant to my pull-ups?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And it's crazy because you know they wouldn't say it to your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, especially not when they see you in the full kit decked out at work.
Yeah, definitely not.
That would be courageous. Once you finish your pull-ups, so you hit this minute goal, you get another record, congratulations. Are you done, or are you like, this is my thing now? I find a record, I find a specific thing, and I start training for it?
Yeah, I don't think I'll be done because I'm the type of person that like always needs to be working towards something.
Yeah.
And I found that like in the last couple months, so since I did the previous record in August, I felt like a bit lost in my training.
Right.
Whereas now that I've got another goal, I'm like, okay, now I can work towards this.
Yeah.
So I feel like once I do this, I'll just find something else and then kind of like keep going. Yeah. Until I'm old and tired.
Yeah. I like the idea that that will be how you train your body parts. So you're like, well, I'm quite a triangle now because I've done all of this pulling. So maybe I need like a squat record because my legs need a little bit of work. So let me see what's the record of air squats in an hour or something like that.
I think my poor little legs would snap.
Yeah. Or I don't know, step ups, lunges, I don't know, something. Anyway. Okay. Oh, well, I'll keep checking in. I'll keep having a look. I'll see what the next goal is. That'll be fun. Well, I know you've got the whole day ahead of you. You've got a busy day. So thank you so much for making some time. I've really enjoyed the chat. I saw your record pop up and I was like, I got to hear about this. This is something I want to know about a bit more about. Who is crazy enough to do this? Well, we found the answer. We found the answer to who is crazy enough to do this. It's you. It's Jade. So all the best with the second record. I look forward to seeing that. And then being so famous for pull-ups that you get invited back to, Physical Asia or Physical World or whatever they decide to do as the next one. And and I'll start looking out for your name to pop up in the credits of probably Australian films with second stunt actor for so. Who would be like the person you think they could put you in to do the stunts for? Is there like an actress that you're like, I could probably do her stunts?
I don't know. I'd love to be like Wonder Woman, but I don't think I look like her.
No.
So maybe like Gwyneth Paltrow, but I don't think she does any like action films.
No. Well, Margot Robbie, she's. I'm trying to think who would turn up in Australia as well. Like who would be filming in? Well, they film quite a bit in Australia, actually, don't they? So yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was just a random final question that I just suddenly thought. Wow. Yeah. It's funny because I was watching a show the other day that was like filmed in the 60s, and there's a fight scene, and it's like these are not the same two people that were on the screen a minute ago. It's so blatant that it's two other people, and you forget just like, oh yeah, that was the peak of action films and movies and stuff back then. Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Jade Henderson. Appreciate your time. Thank you everyone for listening to this or watching it on YouTube or however you've enjoyed it. Make sure you go and follow Jade and support her efforts to become a 2-time Guinness World Record holder. We're holding out for that. I will be back next week. I do have another guest, but I haven't got the notes here of when it will be. I think it's going to be on Thursday next week, but I'll post that somewhere. So thank you everyone, and we'll see you hopefully next week.